main topic today. We're discussing today the visit by U.S. First Lady Jill Biden to Egypt and her keenness to start her visit in a tour to the Middle East with Egypt, as she visited also the pyramids of Giza and Al-Azhar Mosque. We are going to know more about this, and we have the pleasure to have this phone with Dr. Yehya Abdul, the tourism counselor. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr.
Well, Dr. Abdul, how do you see the First Lady's, the U.S. First Lady keenness to start her tour in the Middle East with Egypt?
Well, really, you are so fortunate, because Mrs. Biden, she planned a 6-day tour of the Middle East, planned to support women empowerment and children education. And really, she embarked on her tour, by spending 2 days in Egypt. She met President Abdul, then went on to visit Al-Azhar Mosque with its different pavilions and historical background. And after that, she went to visit a children's school, that applies and, have the most recent disciplines of education and mixing, practice with theory. And just yesterday, she visited the Giza Plateau, and
yes.
she made a historical tour of Cairo.
Yes. The First Lady Jill Biden visited the pyramids of Giza, and she was very pleased to be there, and she expressed her happiness and appreciation for visiting such a great plateau. So give us an idea about her visit to the pyramids, as she also praised the development that took place around the Giza Plateau.
Yes, Dr. Ahmed Isa, Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, with his associate, they escorted, the First Lady to the Giza Necropolis, where she, made a historical tour with the experts. And then they went to the Sphinx, great, statue. And she, she took some shots and pictures, because yesterday really was her birthday, and it was a great, opportunity for the Minister of Tourism and Antiquities to offer her, a souvenir of Egyptian and pharaonic, significance. They offered them a scarab, which brings, local culture, in this life and here after. So that was, a great, move by the Minister of Tourism, and she was so, thrilled by visiting the Giza Plateau that's over 45 centuries ago, and she thanked, her entourage about this historical tour.
Yes, the importance, Dr. Abdul, the importance of her visit to the pyramids and taking photos there. What is the importance for Egypt with First Lady to visit the pyramids and take photos there, in addition to the celebrities and the very famous, well-known persons from all over the world who takes photos at the pyramids? What is the importance of this for promoting tourism in Egypt?
Well, really, this is a blessing, because the visit of Her Excellency, and other celebrities who really, year-round, they come to visit Egypt, sportsmen, leading movie stars, celebrities, musicians, writers, and politicians as well. They come to Egypt because the Giza Plateau, associated with the Great Wall of China. This is only 2 relics, left from the great 7 wonders of the world. So every visitor, throughout history, they like to come and visit the Giza Plateau, because this is part, this is part of the human experience and pride and culture and civilization we all are proud of. So this is a great media promotion for us and publicity worldwide, because these pictures and tour, is going to be publicized worldwide. So this is a great promotion for Egyptian tourism, antiquities, next to, of course, the expectation of opening the Grand Egyptian Museum this year, inshallah.
Yes, also the U.S. First Lady Jill Biden also visited Al-Azhar Mosque, which is, of course, more than 1,000 years old and one of the very important Islamic plateaus in the whole world, and it's a lighthouse of education. So give us an idea about her visit to the Al-Azhar Mosque.
Well, really, that was, like the beginning of her tour to Egypt. Started with the Azhar Mosque, then it was called in the Pyramids and Antiquities. Al-Azhar Great Mosque, like Grand Mosque, is an icon of tolerance, understanding, and peace. She visited, like different pavilions. The one, like the original one, the Fatimiyya, then the Mamluk, then the Osmani, and she met scholars, like both male and female. And she talked to them, and they were fluent in English, and she was pleased with that. And she told them, I understand that you come from different backgrounds, which reflects, like the diversity of Egypt. And, like here, like to learn about the doctrines, like of religion and monotheism. And this is, like so blissful and so good for humanity and your country. So she was satisfied with this tour. And then she went on to visit a sophisticated, like educational program for children, training, and culture.
Yes, also, what is the message that Egypt sends by the visit by the U.S. First Lady Jill Biden to Egypt, a message to the whole world that Egypt is so safe and is rich with its monuments and antiquities?
Well, historically, like the ties between Egypt and the U.S. are very strong, like since like the inception of the U.S. like 300 years ago. We have good, like culture, scientific, economic, like educational research, all type of cooperation between two nations. And that's why, like we have many foundations in Egypt, like the USAID, like other programs, the Fulbright programs that, like try to work hard to upgrade the status of women, of children, of the needy, like and less privileges, because this is part of the like social development goals of the UN that we have to, like to perform and activate within this decade. So that was so, like a powerful message for the whole world, the strong ties between Egypt and the USA.
Yes, Dr. Abdul Qader, what do we expect as an echo of the visit of the U.S. First Lady Jill Biden that would, after this, the increase of the number of tourists from the United States?
Well, really, we expect this because, like the smooth relations between the countries are reflected, like with this trip on her. This is like the beginning of her program to visit the Middle East, like the 6-day tour. She will be resuming her, like flights to Morocco and then to Portugal. And we expect, like the inflows of international travel from the U.S. But one thing we have to do, like at one point we used to have 4 tourist promotion offices in the U.S., like New York, California, Canada, Chicago. But we don't have these offices anymore. So the U.S. is one of the leading markets for the travel and technology and economy worldwide. So we look forward that Dr. Ahmed Isa will reinstall, like and activate these offices again so we can go back to full gear and the travel from the U.S. to Egyptian markets will be back on track.
Yes, U.S. First Lady Jill Biden was received by Egypt's First Lady, Mrs. Intisar al-Sisi. The importance of the meeting?
Well, really, that was, like a great pleasure and honor because she was led by President Al-Fattah al-Sisi himself and First Lady Mrs. Intisar al-Sisi. They welcomed her and she was pleased about her tour to Egypt, and she chose her to be the first leg in her itinerary. And of course, the relationship between the countries are warm, friendly, and this is reflected in the cooperation between the people, the officials, the government on all levels. So she was very comfortable with this tour, and I think she mentioned that she would be coming back to spend more time, as it was mentioned by Minister of Tourism, that we still have more antiquities and culture and heritage in Luxor and Aswan. So she didn't have time this part of the tour, but she will come for more, spend the time to visit the antiquities. And she has really, like members of the family, they will be escorting her in the future, inshallah.
Yes, also Dr. Abdul Qader, now we are in the summer season. What is the program that is set by the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities for the tourism in Egypt, the program of this season?
Well, really, the ministry having a solid strategy for promotions, throughout the year, in the winter, and the spring, and the summer. For example, this week, Egypt will be celebrating the Arab Promotion Association. It will be held, and we'll have visitors from the whole Arab world, all the travel writers and the media professionals. And this is a great opportunity for the Ministry of Tourism to introduce new ventures programs and projects and investments that have been developed throughout the year, because they will be spending a week, like in Cairo and historical Cairo, and going to the Red Sea resort areas as well. So this is one of the tools of promoting, and then we invite media representatives and bloggers and influencers to Sharm el-Sheikh and Hurghada and to Mitrine and Alexandria as well. So we expect this year, inshallah, we're going to have a good summer year vacation.
Yes, Dr. Abdul Qader, also there are several efforts exerted by the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities to promote tourism by launching websites and in several languages to provide information for tourists who would like to visit Egypt. Give us an idea about these websites, please.
Well, really, this strategy has been launched, 2 years ago, and now we have, a platform for digital promotion, publicity, advertising, in 5 international languages at least. So this is reaching a wide spectrum of travelers worldwide, and it has been recommended by the United Nations World Tourism Organization and other associations as well. For example, the IATA, is holding its international conference, and there are 300 airline companies participating, and Egypt is among them. And then we have more airports, now in functioning, and now promotion campaigns worldwide, farm trips, road shows, and promotion. And we have Egyptian antiquities on display, in Paris and then in Australia and in the US. So there is a solid campaign performed by the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities to generate more travel business to Egypt, inshallah.
Yes, Dr. Abdul Qader, also the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities have launched several initiatives also to promote tourism in Egypt. So give us an idea about the several initiatives launched in the field of tourism.
Well, part of this initiative, is to make, 2 package plans for our destination, at reduced cost sometimes, and adding more beverages to the visitors, incentives as well. So this is done regularly, and Egypt Air, very shortly, is offering, very affordable prices for its tours, from international destinations worldwide. So the whole, travel business in Egypt and tourism, the airlines, the lodging, the transportation, the resort, and the ministry, and the government are making the request to make stay and visit in Egypt more accessible and enjoyable.
Yes. What are the most important places that tourists prefer to visit in Egypt in the summer season?
Well, summer season is, time, like to enjoy the beach and the water and the aquatics and the facilities. So most visitors, they like to go to the beach resorts in Alamein, like Alexandria, Marsa Matruh. And we have international visitors who like to visit Egypt in the summer as well, like the Italians who like to go to the Garden Sharm el-Sheikh, the Germans. So the both, like the Red Sea and Mediterranean beaches of Egypt, they are, they have heavily visitation from international visitors who like to visit Egypt in the summer and year round again.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information, Dr. Yehya Abdul Qader, the tourism counselor. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for following me in this segment. My name is Amal Mukhtar. I leave you in the rest of the episode with my colleague Nermeen Abdurrahman. But now we are going to watch the Tourist magazine with Dina Yunus.